Okay, so there's this part in the Godzilla movie where they do like a slow reveal. You see the body and then you see Godzilla's face for the first time in the movie. I'm sorry, the first time I saw his face, I immediately thought, he looks just like a Ninja Turtle. Take that Godzilla picture, put a bandana, a mask over his face, and tell me he does not look like one of the new Bay Turtles. It's just Godzilla, see? Hi, I'm Andre, and I'm a black nerd with a review for you, Little Reviews. Yes, as you can tell, I am not in my home. I am in Dallas, Texas. I'm hanging out at the Dallas Comic-Con, but I am up late at night to do a review for you about Godzilla, because I love you like that. I can love you like that. Plot of Godzilla. They made a Godzilla movie in 1998, and even though they made a whole bunch of money, everybody hated it. So they just said, we're not gonna act like that movie ever existed and make a brand new Godzilla, because we can, because Pacific Rim came out before and they made a little bit of money, so maybe we can just do it again with the actual character of Godzilla this time. Best synopsis ever. First, the good. Every time Godzilla was on the screen, I got to be like a giddy little boy watching a Godzilla movie like I did back in the day. Monster movie madness! There was this one part where like his scales, you see his scales, and all of a sudden they kind of light up, and I was just like, oh snap. Is he gonna do what I think he's gonna do? He's gonna do what I think he's gonna do, and I'm not gonna say what he's gonna do, but he does it, and oh. I was like that dude that I was talking about in my Captain America Winter Soldier review that was just like, get him, Cap! That's how I felt about Godzilla. I was just like, get him, G! I became that guy. I became what I hated. I enjoyed seeing Godzilla on the big screen in a way that I really, really liked. And stop calling him fat, okay? He's a gigantic 350-foot monster. He is not having Atkins diet, all right? He's not doing a paleo thing. He is not worried about gluten-free humans. And of course, anytime the humans showed up, I'd be like, oh man, not the human people. I don't care about your stories. I want to see Godzilla fighting. Usually I'm just like, forget the cast, but they actually were decent. Kick-Ass and the other Olsen did a really good job being a believable couple, and you felt sorry for him a couple times. He's away trying to deal with Godzilla, and she's at home wondering, where's my baby? And I got a kid here. They were a cute romantic couple. I think those two should be a couple again. What's the next movie they're gonna do together? Oh, that's awkward, unless you're a fan of Game of Thrones. And then Bryan Cranston, of course, that dude is just talented. He brings it every single time. I don't want to give too much away, but if you felt sad in the first 10 minutes of Up, you might have an Up relapse. Bryan Cranston he did a really good job. He did a really good job. But, you know, he's the last name in the credits. It's and Bryan Cranston. So he's obviously Nick Fury in this movie. Like, you don't expect to see him throughout the entire movie. And people die in this movie. Like, they're not messing around. Like, it's not just a bunch of Japanese folks going, oh, Godzilla, but nothing ever touches us. Tidal waves, typhoons, buildings coming down. I'm pretty sure I saw Superman and Zod in there somewhere fighting. And if you're a fan of Nostalgia Critic, there's gonna be a scene in this movie where you're literally gonna go, but what about Boomer? Boomer will live. Now for the bad. Godzilla is amazing when he is on screen and fighting. However, he's not on screen a whole lot. Now, I knew this was gonna probably be a problem because I remember some of the old school Godzilla movies, backstory, and it's like 30, 45 minutes in, eventually we get Godzilla. And they kind of do this in this movie too. The only problem is even when we get to the point where it's like, now Godzilla is here, they still do a little bit more teasing. There's this particular scene where it looks like a fight is about to break out, a battle royale, and then right when it's about to happen, they cut to like a TV broadcast where you can kind of see it on the TV. Wait, you just revealed Godzilla. We're ready to see him in action, and we have to see it through a fake news broadcast? It was, ooh. I mean, I get that you gotta tease him, I understand it, but it's actually a compliment as well as an insult. It was so good to see him on screen that you wanted more, and I kind of got the vibe from this movie, which I get a lot with movies nowadays, particularly franchise films, where the first movie does just enough because they're trying to save for the sequel. You know, it's very hobbity, Aragon-y, where it's just like, well, we'll just tease stuff. Stop teasing. You know, especially with Godzilla, you're just gonna destroy more things. So you can destroy as much stuff as you want this time and come back a second movie, destroy more things. I don't know how much of this I should reveal. Yes, there are other monsters in this movie. There's been all this internet speculation of, oh, is it gonna be Rodan or Gamera or Mothra or this or that? Let them fight. Everything you've seen may make you feel like there's different monsters in this movie, but it seems like they took the elements of different monsters to make a monster of their own. I thought those monsters were good, but we kind of see them more than Godzilla throughout the first half of the film, the first hour of the film. I just feel like it probably would have been better if they were monsters that we knew. If they were monsters from the Godzilla universe, I think that it might have been a little bit easier to stomach seeing them early on, more so than seeing Godzilla, because it's like, okay, we hate that Godzilla breaks stuff, but he's gonna kill this other monster, so greater good. To create something new, have them have the elements of other monsters we already know exist from the Godzilla universe, but not use those monsters instead. I was like, alright. And now for the nerdy. It is hilarious, but I love that this movie actually puts up a title that says that it starts in 1999. So the last Godzilla movie, the Matthew Broderick movie, came out in 1998. So what a just nice, subtle way to basically go, this is a new Godzilla movie that's literally starting after the other Godzilla movie. So any Godzilla movie that has happened before 1999 does not exist. I don't know if that was intentional or not. I feel like that was done on purpose. That's just me. I could have sworn I saw like a glass case with a moth in it and it was labeled Mothra. I was the only one who saw that? I felt like I saw it. Maybe it just said moth and I just assumed Mothra, but I remember seeing a glass case with a moth in it. If you like Godzilla movies, if you like monster movies, I highly still recommend it. It's definitely fun to watch it in theaters. I saw it in 3D and it was actually a good 3D movie. Like, it didn't bother me too much like some 3D movies do. I feel like this movie is going to divide people. I think some people will think it's okay. I think some people are going to go like, this is great because it's better than the 98 movie. And I think some people are just going to be like, well, we didn't get enough Godzilla, so boo. I think it's a good Godzilla movie. I don't think it's the perfect Godzilla movie. The thing about this movie is there's a lot of stuff that they do good, but when they make a flaw, it's like a very distinct flaw. So you're just like, ooh, you were so close. And then sometimes that hurts a little bit more. When a movie is like close, but it just makes these little mistakes and you're just like, no, you were right there. Ooh. I feel like it just kind of held back a little bit by adding more of the human character story, by not showing Godzilla as much. Put their bread and butter in that Godzilla and into those fights, then maybe that'll be like, that's the one. Okay, Godzilla 2, that's the one. Godzilla 2, that's the one. I feel like I'm labeling Xbox names. What did you guys think of Godzilla? And if they make a sequel, what monster, whether it could actually happen or not, would you love to see Godzilla fight in the next movie? I'm gonna vote for Reptar. Godzilla versus Reptar. And that Cloverfield monster, just throw him into the fight too. And then Rita Repulsa can show up, make my monster growl. We just need the Power Rangers. The Power Rangers could have fought Godzilla. I wonder if the people who are making the Power Rangers movie reboot were watching this and going, let me take some notes here. And if you haven't yet, please be sure to check out my Godzilla vs. Friendzone sketch. I had a lot of fun doing it. Nikki Limo was in it. It was shot using actual set pieces from the Godzilla movie. When I watched the Godzilla movie, I was like, hey, I remember that piece. That's in my sketch. If you're new here, subscribe. I make new videos all week, even in hotel rooms in Dallas that apparently have ghosts on the 19th floor. I'm not kidding. This hotel apparently has a ghost. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Audi 5000. Chain chomp, yo.